What's going on, everybody? I'm Josh with Combat Sports Today. I'm joined by a familiar face and a friend of the channel, Justice Torres. How's it going, my man?
Man, we're going good. We're going good.
It's great to have you back on the channel again. I got to give you a huge congrats on the not only the FuryFC 107 finish, but also picking up some tag team grappling belts at the Apex Grappling Series
Oh,
with Nick.
yeah, we had a little side mission. Yeah, I went to the Apex. Yep, that was fun.
Yeah, like I said, had to give you, some big congrats on that. Those were very fun to watch. And I just kind of tailing back into that Fury FC 107 fight. I was rewatching it, before this interview. Were you kind of surprised that the ref didn't step in a little sooner to call that?
Yeah, no, it was definitely like one of those like Rocky moments where he's like, if he dies, he dies. Cause like he right off the rip, he was hurt and just bleeding and just you could tell he wanted out. Like he wanted out. And the ref was just letting him take it. So but either way, we got the finish. My job is to just keep going until the ref makes me stop. It was a little bit longer than what I was expecting, but hey.
Yeah, it's like you said, your job is to, go out there and put people away, not to, step back away and, call the fight yourself. I mean, some people have tried that, hasn't really been too successful, I don't think. Just jumping into, some recent things. Unfortunately, that Contender Series didn't go your way, but could you kind of talk to us about that experience and kind of how that opportunity came together? Because that was like pretty short notice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a 5 days notice. So after I got that, I had got told before UFC Noche that there's a possibility of me being on it. So I think that's like 2 weeks ahead, and I was like, okay, bet. So I was like, cool. Started getting ready and stuff, and then I got told, hey, Sean, he doesn't want to go with you no more. Um, it's not happening. So I was like, okay, whatever, that's cool. Just keep grinding anyways, and I'll just be ready. But went to UFC Noche, and I actually, and as crazy as I saw Sean, like literally, we just kept like we were walking on the streets of San Antonio, literally just walking, and I turned the corner, and he turned the corner, we both bumped into each other, and I was like, oh, that's Sean Shelby, and then I'm like, dang man, I want to be like, so why don't you want me? But I just left it alone, and after Alden's win, we enjoyed, we celebrated and stuff, and so getting back to the gym, it's 5 days before they call me, and they're like, hey, can you make weight? And I was like, really? Really? Because I was like, I could have kept cutting weight and been trying to get ready. I was like, but y'all told me no, it's not happening. I was like, so I celebrated, had me a few drinks, ate a little bit. So I was actually to outside of camp, like just completely outside of camp. I do walk around pretty heavy. But this time I wasn't as heavy as I normally am, but I was still 168.9. So 5 days out, they call me and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, that's a lot of weight to cut. But I was like, you know what? You can't say no. You just can't say no. So I said yes, I can make the weight. Had I'm not gonna lie, the weight cut was tough. It was tough. That's ultimately what I feel like was my downfall was me not being locked in, I guess, and continuing to just go ahead and get my weight down because I cut from 169.8 to 146 even. And yeah, so whenever the fight started, he just hit that body, and normally body shots they don't bother me, but that one, whenever he hit, I could just feel it. Like I didn't feel like I recovered right. I didn't get hydrated enough, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, and then I got dropped with the body shot, and it was tough.
Yeah. Like I said, like you said, you can't say no to opportunities, for the UFC because, it
Exactly.
shows that, you're willing to step up on the short notice, not only step up, but make that weight on such a short notice. I don't think a lot of guys could successfully make the weight. They may, try and step on the scale, but I don't think it's gonna be in their
Yeah, no,
favor.
and even still, Sean, he told me thank you. Like he was like after the weigh-in, he came up to me, he was like, "Hey man, thank you for making the weight and thank you for taking the fight." Because apparently there was like three guys before me that said no to this fight, and that's why he ultimately had to come back to me as like a last resort. But which that was like I was like, no, no problem. I was like, I appreciate the opportunity. I just wish you like in my head, I didn't say this, but I was like, I wish you could fucking kept me the first time around, so I didn't have to struggle to make this weight because I'm talking about the back was cramping, the neck was everywhere. I was like, it's like season up. I felt like, and yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
I mean, he like you said, he should have, known the first time around that, the camp that you come from, the 4 ounce team, that you guys always show up. You guys
Exactly. Yeah.
show up to fight, show up and deliver pretty consistently.
Yeah,
when
and
asked.
coulda, shoulda, woulda is one of those things of how it's going to be right
Yeah.
now. Because I know on a full camp, I'm better than that guy. Like 5 days notice, like that's really what it can't what it boiled down to. It was a tough weight cut where they were smart with the game plan. Because I saw him whenever he first came in. I got in a week early, so I was there all week, and then they come in. I think they come in that Saturday. I want to say it was, but we saw each other in the hallway at the bottom of the casino, and I was like way bigger than him, like still like this wise, and I was like, even though he was like he's taller, yeah, but like. I was like, damn. I was like, all right. And then he was like, his coach was like sizing me up, and they're like, and I'm telling you that I could tell that they knew like, all right, he's gonna have to cut a lot of weight. But we shook hands and then just kept it moving. And then yeah, right up the rip, he boom to the body, boom to the body. And I was like, in that first second one, it bothered me. And then also too, I don't want to say it was the lights, the camera, none of that stuff. It didn't really that didn't bother me at all. Um, but yeah, I think just all just came down to that damn weight cut. And I just now I know like, I gotta really give myself time to short notice. I don't think I can force those and then I have to do it the right way.
But it's always, a good learning experience. As long as you can take something away from it, it's, not always a bad thing. There's silver linings in everything.
Exactly, yeah. And at
And
the end of the day, like I always just look at it, God's timing's perfect. So hey, it wasn't my night. That's all right. It was and I'll say the hardest part about it was my son was there. My son, my aunt, who's like my mom, and then two of my buddies that are like childhood friends of mine that I've like known since like fifth grade, sixth grade. They were there. But the hardest part was my son, because like my son Dominic, he didn't even know that he was going to actually go. We surprised him with a ticket,
oh,
and
wow.
so he flew out. He was like, he went like with my buddies, and he was like, man, he's like, he just kept sitting there smiling, watching me, just like, I can't wait for you to get this UFC contract. I just can't wait. And then so that was the hardest part. Whenever I was walking out the cage, he ran up to me and he was just bawling his eyes out. But I had to just tell him, I just told him like, hey, look, like just like after my title fight, I was like, hey, this is what we do. I was like, this is what we do. I was like, you can't win them all. I was like, and you want to win them all, but you can't win them all. But this is what we do. We're fighters. I was like, I'm okay. I was like, look at me. I got dropped to the body. That's it. I was like, I'm gonna get better, and I was like, I'm gonna get that contract. And then he was trying to like, try not to cry anymore. He's trying to toughen it up, poke his chest out, and went back to sit back down. But yeah,
Yeah, man. I mean, that does have to be hard, having, your son, there and seeing that, especially how hyped he was. But, like you said, it wasn't supposed to be your night then. Maybe the next time is, not Contender Series. Maybe it's a short notice to a
and I
sold
would
out arena
love
somewhere,
that.
and that's going to be an even better experience for him to go out there and, start somebody in the first round, you know.
Exactly. And what's crazy is he even said to me, whenever we got back, he said it to me first, but then also too, like my buddies they were saying, he's like, you didn't look like you. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you didn't look like you, like the way you came out and the way you were taking the damage. Like he's like, my buddy, he's like, yeah, you usually have a slow start in the first. He's like, but just you didn't look like you. Like he's like, I don't know, it was weird. He's like, we knew something felt off. And I was like, yeah, but like I said, coulda, shoulda, woulda. We're gonna bounce back. So that's why, I was looking to try and get back in this year to set the year off right.
Yeah, absolutely. And, looking, towards capping the year off, I do believe there is some potential fight news for December 14th, FuryFC 112.
Mhm.
I think in the works is UFC veteran Jose Johnson, I do believe.
Yeah, yeah, we're trying to make that fight happen. It's kind of coming to a halt real quick on his end. So, but no matter what, I'm still trying to fight on that card. I don't want to end the year off on a loss, and I want to break my record. I fought 4 times in 2023, I want to say it was, or 2024. So I want to do 5 times now and break the record. And I think I would actually tie Josh, if not beat Josh. So trying to get one more in.
Yeah, so I mean that's, great mindset, looking forward to, seeing you on the card regardless of the person standing across the cage there.
We got a good card too, because we got so many of the 4 ounce guys. That's another reason why I wanted to be on there with my team, with my brothers. Like we're all gonna be on there. So I think it's all together. It's me, Hector, Lloyd, Houston, um, me, Hector, Lloyd, Houston. I want to say there's one more person from 4 ounce, and then you got Jay already. He just took a short notice onto that card also as well. So it's like it's a bunch of us.
It's looking forward to be a great card. I'm going to be making the drive out from San Antonio to attend it. End the year off right
Nice.
with the Fury card because Fury puts on a hell of a show.
Yeah, and I was wanting at first because my initial plan also too, I wanted to wait till February to fight, but then I started thinking about that. But then he was saying that he only had San Antonio and Dallas, but I didn't want to. I was thinking now I'm thinking about it, I was like maybe next time I will do Dallas as well. Never know. Maybe I do take off and then just go ahead and fight in Dallas also. Come back again.
Yeah, yeah, might as well, and
I do got a
I
little bit of
know,
family out there.
yeah, and I know you got this fight lined up. But when are we going to see you and Nick back in the Apex Grappling to defend those titles?
Man, I've been talking to Frank about it. We're just trying to, once we get out this fight, he actually recently just had a fight. He had a tough first round, but he came back. I think it was like 37 seconds in the second, locked up an anaconda choke. And so once he heals up from that, then yeah, we're trying to get in there ASAP. So maybe we do that February.
Yeah,
But yeah, no,
always
we've
looking
talked about
forward
it.
to attend those events as well. Those are, super fun. Told my wife about it and she joined and she's super excited to watch some more tag team cage grappling.
Yeah, it's fun. Like I like it so much. The way the rule set works and everything is fun.
Yeah, that was it. Like I said, it was super fun to watch. And anybody that's, watching this video, you guys need to go check out the Apex Grappling Series. It is
Yeah, for sure.
super
That's
fun. They're
definitely going to
changing up
be
the game.
exactly. Yeah.
I got a couple things, outside of the fighting world, to kind of show more of the personality besides all the highlights that you're putting out there for everybody. What's something in life, recently that has come up that, you've learned from now that you probably a couple years ago you weren't ready to, learn from that type of experience?
Oh, yeah, you going deep on me. All right. Let's see. So something that I learned,
Yeah, something that life taught you.
you know, from being like a parent and also too like an adult now, having to pay your own bills and do everything. Like going through like different struggles and stuff. I've definitely learned from like a from this side now that like money comes and goes, but whenever whenever like your parents like they do everything, they try to do everything for you. I learned that now because I try to do that for my kids. So like try not to stress on the small things. um I guess that's just the biggest thing that I've been learning, just because like I've seen like we have our ups and our downs and stuff like that, but being a parent now, and you have to do everything. So now I see that. Back when I was a kid, I'd be like, bro, what the hell, why can't I do it, and getting told no and stuff. So yeah, I guess maybe that, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I got to throw in some deep questions every now and again.
Yeah,
Got to get
that
some
one.
deep cuts in there. What's a food or drink you're totally convinced people are only pretending to enjoy?
Oh, I don't get how people like what's it called, that what is it it's the soda, I don't know, it's called like birch. It's like an off-brand root beer. Like I've seen to so many people drinking it,
Like a
and I don't
birch beer or something like
I,
that?
I, I don't know. I don't know. I seen it, and it was like a little trend thing I saw on Instagram. I'm like, dude, that's disgusting. I'm not drinking that. Or like whenever they do like the little spin-offs of like the Dr Pepper, I like, but like the Dr Pepper mixing it with all these different flavor, raspberry Dr Pepper, I think someone did, and I was like, what the fuck is that? That sounds disgusting.
Yeah. I'm an OG Dr. Pepper fan. I do try all the new random ones that like Dr. Pepper comes out themselves. I will say
Hmm.
like the coconut Dr. Pepper was good.
What? See
Yeah,
that right there, like that right there, that would throw me off. I don't think I would think of, but
I'm a huge coconut fan though. Like I don't mind coconut. I'm a weird person. I know. And I tried like what was it, the blackberry one? It was god awful. It tasted
see,
like
yeah, yeah, blackberry, that's
straight
the
up
one.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, it tasted like old. It reminded me of like the cough syrup I had as a kid.
or like
Just god
licorice.
awful
That like a
medicinal taste.
yeah.
And got one last thing for you here. If somebody narrated your life, like a documentary style,
Hmm.
whose voice do you want, and what's a voice that would be an
Morgan
absolute
Freeman.
nightmare?
Morgan Freeman. I feel like he has such a cool voice. He had to be the one.
Oh,
And
he
what was the
does have
second
a
part of
great
it?
one. The second part is whose voice would just be an absolute nightmare to have narrate the documentary of your life.
Okay. Probably someone with like some high pitched, you know. I can't think of anyone. Just someone that like has an annoying voice. Who would that be?
So my mind goes to the OG like Paris Hilton when she was like on the that reality
Yeah, like
TV show,
something
that
like
super
that.
like fake Valley Girl vibes. Like
Yeah,
that would just be
exactly.
a
Yeah,
nightmare.
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
not for sure. Morgan Freeman. I feel like he has such a cool like a cool voice to do that.
So you got any training partners, loved ones, sponsors you want to give a quick shout out to real quick?
Oh, for sure. Shout out to my boy Hector, man. Me and him, we've been grinding for this camp. So him, my boy Dakota Hope, he's back. So we've been grinding together. Michael as well. Same to him. He's been helping me. He was whooping my ass today. Um, yeah, I guess all the 4 ounce guys, they've all been a huge help. And like I said, I took the fight right at the 6 week mark, and we just started grinding, getting right back to it. So it's just good to be back in the gym with all the guys. So yeah, that, and then just all my sponsors, just they all know who they are. DNA, shout out to DNA, Fuller Express, N8 Massage, all of them. They've all helped me so much throughout my camps. So just thank you to y'all.
Awesome, man. And again, I appreciate you jumping on with us, and I can't wait to see you and the rest of the 4 ounce guys do you guys this thing at FuryFC 112 December 14th.
Well, the first things first, we got our big fight next weekend. So on December 6th. So we're gonna watch Josh get that flyweight title. He's gonna take out Pantoja, and then it's gonna be our weekend after that.
Yeah, I was totally hoping we were going to get to see Michael Aswell jump on that December card with Josh Fan, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
Yeah, I think that's like his little punishment for spilling the news on like how he did in Brazil. So
I
they're
mean, he's
probably
just
like, yeah,
trying to be,
no,
the number one, newsbreaker of, the MMA
hey,
world as well. You can't hate him on trying to,
yeah, no,
up
he
his
definitely
game.
did that. He definitely did that. It was funny. It was funny.
I appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, and comment who you want us to interview next on Combat Sports Today.